Hello again. My name is William Maypother, your host for this series of videos on the Highland Green buildings. With this video on energy efficiency, we will examine these buildings' energy use and what that means to our environment. What is super insulation, solar panels, and geothermal systems? Why are they important? And why should we care? Well, let's start by looking at the energy consumption of cars. Many people know and understand the difference between a gas-guzzling car and one that gets 40 miles to the gallon. A car that uses less gas means saving money at the pump. But equally as important, the less gas a car burns, the less it pollutes our air. Exhaust fumes that come from burning gasoline make our air less safe to breathe. And the combined effects of burning gasoline in all these cars is heating up our planet. So it's easy to see that if you burn less gas in an efficient car, you are both saving money and reducing pollution. The same is true of these buildings. The less energy they use, the less they cost to run, and the better they are for the environment. To understand how a building can be green, imagine the engine that runs all our buildings. Every building here on Bardstown Road is connected to power lines, which supply them with the power needed to run the building. The lights, air conditioners, and heaters, among other things, use this power to operate. These power lines leave the building and attach to the electrical grid, a network of cables and lines which provides electricity to our homes and buildings. The electrical grid is attached to the power plants that produce electricity. In Louisville, most of our power plants burn coal to make the electricity we use to run our buildings. In order to run, a car requires gasoline. Similarly, buildings in Louisville require coal. Every time we turn on a light or run our heater or air conditioner, we are burning coal to generate that power. The less power or energy a building needs, the less it costs and the less it pollutes. So, how does the Highland Green building use less energy than the conventional buildings around it? There are two methods. First, it requires less energy to operate. Because this building is so well insulated, there is much less heating and air conditioning needed to keep it comfortable. The most important aspect of the design for any green building is to make it extremely energy efficient. The foundations, walls, windows, and roof have been engineered to keep the outside weather out and the inside temperature in. The foundations are composed of heavily insulated reinforced concrete. The walls are a system of several insulating layers that combined are 16 inches thick. They have a thermal resistance value, or R value, equivalent to R36. The windows are constructed of 2 layers of glass covered with a high-tech coating. These windows reflect most of the sun's radiant heat energy away from the building. Finally, the roof is constructed with a continuous layer of insulation, again with a high R value, which is covered with a white waterproofed membrane that also reflects away the sun's radiant energy. Even the small metal awnings above the second floor windows were specifically designed to reduce heat gain from direct sunlight, while still allowing plenty of natural light into the building. The combination of all this engineering is a very energy efficient building that keeps a comfortable temperature inside without needing much heating or cooling. In addition to the building's energy efficient shell, all the lighting is either LED or high efficiency fluorescence. All the appliances are ENERGY STAR rated. Even the water heaters are high efficiency. Together, all these features mean that compared to conventional buildings, the Highland Green buildings need a lot less electrical power to stay lit and comfortable. Second, the Highland Green buildings require less coal because they produce some of their own energy. 2 different types of renewable, pollution-free energy are produced right here on the property. First, the roof of the main building contains a series of solar panels, which transform sunlight directly into usable electric current for the building. These panels, containing soft photovoltaic cells, are designed specifically for flat roofs. Different from traditional flat panel cells, this blanket-like material fastens directly to the roof's surface, allowing wind to pass over it easily. Each panel is connected to a metal track, where a positive and negative wire each feed into a conduit. The conduit runs into the building and directly into the control panel, where the solar energy is distributed throughout the building in the form of electrical power. On some sunny days, the Highland Green building produces even more energy than it uses. It's difficult to store electricity, so that extra energy is delivered to our local power grid, where it's distributed to the buildings nearby. The owner of the Highland Green building gets paid for this extra energy. The second renewable energy source comes from underground. The Highland Green building has a geothermal system to help heat and cool the building. Geo means earth, and thermal means heat, so as you may have guessed, this system harnesses the energy of the Earth's internal heat. Underneath the parking lot are 16 geothermal wells, which extend down 350 feet into the earth. Within each well are long, slender pipes. A fluid circulates through these pipes where the earth is at a constant temperature of 56 degrees. This fluid is then fed to the heaters and air conditioners throughout the buildings, helping make them extremely efficient. Between the building's energy efficiency and their on-site production of their own power, the Highland Green buildings use about 1/3 of the power of conventional buildings. For comparison, imagine a car which gets 3 times the gas mileage of a normal car. There are a number of benefits of this efficiency. These buildings will save their owners thousands of dollars in utility costs every year. They also require less coal to be burned in our power plants, which helps our air become cleaner. That means less greenhouse gases emitted into the air and less warming of the Earth's atmosphere. Finally, there will be less coal mined, saving Kentucky's mountains and waterways from harmful coal mining practices, such as mountaintop removal. The Highland Green's energy efficiency is probably the most important reason that we call these green buildings. Just like an energy-efficient car, these buildings help preserve our environment by creating less pollution. I hope you've enjoyed this video on Highland Green's energy efficiency.